There is no doubt that trying to put DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, into practice, and now DEIB, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, putting it into practice is an incredible undertaking. But I often find that we don't disagree on the why. We all kind of fundamentally have come to terms with the fact that DEI, DEIB is an incredibly important ambition and goal, and that it's up to us to make that happen. And we don't even necessarily disagree on the how. A lot of us know what the evidence base is for these efforts, and we know how to go about putting them into practice. Where the sticking point is, and where I often have to consult with companies in order to ensure that they're able to put those ideals into practice, is on the what. And one of the first points of friction that I face is when a company comes to me and says, it's going to cost way too much to put all these policies and all these practices to implement them. And so I look at them and I tell them one simple fact: it costs nothing to change your mind or change your attitude about DEI. And this kind of flips the script a little bit, because no longer are they looking at it as a cost-benefit analysis. No longer are they looking at it as this investment of time, resources, and money. So they start looking at it as a change of attitude, a change of perception. And when they start looking at it from that lens, they can realize that DEI doesn't necessarily have to happen today, but it does need to happen. And by putting it into that way of thinking, it will become practice as we go along and as we evolve. Now, one of the things I've had an honor of being able to do in the last couple of years is work with a company called Inclusive Creation here in Oslo, Norway, and another company called The Forge in Brussels, Belgium, to develop what we call the inclusion game. And what the inclusion game is essentially a gamified version of DEI and evidence-based best practices. And one of the ways we make this happen and really try to change that mindset is by bringing decision makers into a room, dividing them into teams, and telling them that they're not playing an inclusion game, but a business transformation game. They don't even know that inclusion is a component of what they're about to do. And so as the gameplay evolves, as they're scored in each round, they begin to realize the advantages of inclusion, the advantages for innovation, the advantages for profitability, the advantages for marketing. And then they start to understand a little bit better the reasons why diversity, equity, inclusion are so critical to the future of the business. And when it comes to changing that mindset, it happens almost automatically by making it engaging, by making it a game, and making it based on evidence-based practices, and making it very difficult for a person to say, well, that's just your belief. It's not about belief. It's about making your business future-proof. It's about making your business and organization a better business and organization to work in.